Hi y'all, this is Michelle with the Southern Shell, and I am here with another Talk It Out Tuesday. And I'm sorry this didn't get posted at midnight like I try to do it. I've had just a really odd month, and then this week was just a little bizarre as well. But I am in James, and I am going over one of the things that kind of just popped out at me this week was in James 1. I'm going to just start at verse 5. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that you have faith, that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for the person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed in the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. So, with their loyalty as unsettled as a wave in the sea that is being blown and tossed in the wind. Can you guess what I'm going to do today? Well, I'm going to share a couple of things. Let me get my light turned on. Let me see if that's going to make a difference. So I wanted to share, before we get started here, I used my Cricut and I cut out this ship. And I just kind of paper pieced a few things together. It's just very basic, but a ship, and I wanted to have a little bit of something there. And then these pieces here, I used just some blue card, and I used this, this is by Lifestyle Crafts, and it is an embossing folder, and it kind of reminded me of maybe wind blowing, you know how the wind is just all over the place, but I thought if I cut that, it could be really waves just being blown around in the wind. And so that's kind of what I'm going with today. And I don't want to be that person out there being tossed around in the waves, you know, or because the waves are being tossed around because of my faith or lack thereof, or just not understanding or going by certain things. So I took some blue card and I embossed it, and then I took some of my Mermaid Lagoon and my Salty Ocean, and I just went over that after it was embossed. It was very simple. I opened it up, and then I just kind of pressed and just drug it across. So we would have just different layers in there as I did that. So I did that with my Distressed Oxide and Salty Ocean, with Mermaid Lagoon and Salty Ocean. And I did this yesterday so I could actually have it dry a little bit. The longer piece here, I put it through the embossing folder, and then I ran it, I flipped it and just kind of evened up where I thought it would just kind of go right on ahead. So that is going to be the little first piece I put down, but I want to be able to put different pieces here and there to pop in. So I'm going to use a little piece of foam on the bottom of this. So I have this great big bag of, these are just foam strips. And guys, you don't have to do it this way. It was just easier for me when I was making a bunch of cards to have these already cut for me. So I'm just going to pull that off, and I'm going to put it right along the bottom of my wave. And then I'm going to put another little piece right above that, so that it kind of just builds up just a little bit, has some little support underneath there. And I'm going to put it along the bottom so I have something to build on. Now I just trimmed. Now when you have the embossing folder, and then of course I had the inks, it makes the card a little wet, so I should have waited until it was dry before I cut it. but I didn't. But it's not a big deal because I can just come on in here and just run it right on over those ink spots again. And I'm just going to layer this right on down at the bottom of my page for my art journal, my scripture art journal. And I cut this page at 7 by 9. And I am just going to just kind of build up the pieces that have the edges. I am going to try to put on the edge and then build around them. And I'm going to show you how I cut a couple of these. That's why I left this and I just trimmed across the top there. And I might just pop that right on in down there and then put some up over the top of it. Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and glue that little guy down. And I'm not going to put a lot on the top of those waves in case I want to stick something behind it. I'm just going to slide that in and put it all the way down the bottom. And now I can come in, this little piece has another side, and so I'm going to put some glue down up on the corner and just across the bottom. So now I can lay this one in, bring it up just a little bit. And now I have a couple different layers here. This is the other tall one I'm going to just kind of have at the top. And then what I think I'm going to do is just kind of build the other waves around it. So I'm going to glue this one straight down. A little more than halfway up that page. And I used a gray bottom base because I figured if things are blowing around, then it's probably going to be a gray, cloudy sky. And so I went ahead and just did it that way. Now when you, with waves and dimension, it really isn't going to matter because it's talking about it being just tossed. And so, you know, when things are just being tossed around, you have different elements that are in there, different, I mean, if you look at that, different levels. My goodness, if I can get it out of my mouth, I'd be okay today, huh? And I'm not going to be real specific, and I'm going to do another effect here that you'll be able to see. So I wanted to show you just some different ideas here. All right, let's see where we're going to put our boat. Yeah, how about there? And then I'll put something on top of the, underneath those sails to help lift it up. Might leave it the way it is too. Alright, so we've got waves crashing all around this ship. If our faith is like these waves, and it's all over, and this is us, what is going to happen to this ship? Look at that. It's like, it is just going to be all over the place. And so when you ask the Lord for something, let me go let her out. She was just out a minute ago, but you know, something might have changed. Okay, so a little bit has been out and back in the house. So let's, I'm gonna get some foam dots behind So you've seen how I went ahead and doubled up on the pop dots for those. And I am going to now put some white caps on these waves. And I'm using my Snow Rider by Deco Art. So, you know, it doesn't have to be just for snow. Yeah, let's just let some crashing. I have had this bottle of Snow Rider for several years, so I'm not surprised I'm having a hard time getting it out of the bottle. But there's always ways around. So I have this Arteza Real Brush. It's a water brush pen. And I'm just going to add a little bit of detail to my sails. And this is just water. And I just want to saturate that paper just a little bit to help that watercolor just not be so bold. Look at there, how much it softens that up. I'm gonna get some of that extra up and off. Add a little bit to the boat so it's just not so one-dimensional. And we have some water crashing up on the boat here and here. And so we want to add some of that color. Try to lift your watercolors. And I'm trying to just go with the same flow that the embossing folder had originally done. All right, let's drop some water on. Now this is not watercolor paper, and so it is going to react to the paper, and that's why I'm glad, you know, we've got it down first. That's why I'm doing it after it's put together, because it is going to kind of distort the paper, the card, which is fine for these waves. Look how much, what a difference that has made to our ocean. All right, make sure my brush cleaned off. I'm gonna squeeze some water through it onto this paper towel. All right, now I'm gonna get my scripture done. Right back. I wanted to get that dried just a little bit. So I have some alphabet stickers. Let's see, these are by Creative Memories. So I've had them a while, which may be good. I also have a blue. Let's do white. I think white will be good. So James is going to be, it's going to end with an S right in the center. So let's go ahead and just start with that. All right, my friends, there you have it. James 1:6. Don't let your faith waver like waves being tossed around in the ocean. I do hope that you enjoyed not only what I've done here with the art, but that you enjoy learning a little bit about what God has spoke to me about this week. And has my faith wavered? You know, I can ask God for something, but do I believe it right away? And do I believe it always? Or do I, if it be your will, Lord, do this? You know, that's kind of like an out for it. Sometimes you just have to pray and say, Lord, I just claim this and I ask you for this, and your word tells me this, and your word tells me this, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray on it, and I'm going to believe on it, because my faith does not waver like these waves. So guys, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Like what you hear, give me a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to my channel, I do hope you consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to know when I'm uploading a new video, hit that bell notification, and YouTube should let you know when I'm uploading. As always, guys, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.